not motions. Emotions. Am I in the right spot?
Yeah.
Let me scratch my nose now, get over it. Stop it.
Okay.
She's like a hamster, popping in the corner. Emotions. Take one. So let's differentiate between feelings and emotions. Feelings are things you feel, obviously. So there's 5 major types of feelings that you sense. You feel the light hitting the back of your eyes in sight, or you feel the particles landing in your nose for smell, and you feel the sound waves hitting your eardrums, which hit the bones, and you feel them, and you will take them and you'll try to translate whatever it is into whatever reality you have. Emotions are your interpretations of the feelings. For instance, if you go into a dark room and you hear a noise and you feel there may be something in there, so you get afraid. Or you go into waist-deep water and you step on something squishy, and you feel it, but you interpret it as something like an eel or a fish or whatever, something that you don't know what it is, you just make up something, and you have an emotion of what it is. Eek. So emotions are the part that comes after the feelings. It's your interpretation of it. These things are actually pathologies. These things, especially in Chinese medicine, are things that you want to be able to get rid of. It's okay to feel things, but not to make a judgment of what the feeling is trying to tell you. You're trying to wait until you actually figure out what it is. You don't just jump to a conclusion. So you have an emotion, you think your child is lost or your dog is sick, but you don't know, you just think it. So you have an emotion, you feel it rise up and it takes you over. It starts to control you. You start crying or you get really nervous or you get afraid. It takes over. That's the part where you don't want. You don't want it to control you. You want to be able to control your emotions, not have them control you. So even on a cellular level, you have things called neuropeptides. They're made in your brain and they go down into your cells, so your blood system, and they attach to your cells and they lock into the surface of the cells. And they change the cell. They block part of what the cell does. So now you have something blocked. If you have an angry person, you'll see them, they're always angry. They look angry, they're always tense. You can say, oh, that's an angry person. If you have a happy person, like, oh, that's a bouncy, bouncy person. Those are still emotions. Their body has been changed somehow. You have cellular respiration going on. You have stuff going in, the cell makes something and ships it back out. But it also ships out waste. So if you keep blocking the ability of your cell to do this thing, you also keep waste in, so you have a toxic cell, or you get less raw product in to make the protein, or you will block it so the protein can't get out, or something will happen that's not making the cell function properly. So now you have a less than normal cell, a pathology. So if your whole body is full of these less than normal cells, then your whole body is living in a pathology. In Chinese medicine, we try to do something the opposite, or almost opposite, to get rid of it. For instance, if you have an anger issue, we'll teach you to try to feel pride in other people. Try to feel what's called metal. So anger would be, we'll talk about this later, but anger would fall into the wood fire category, like blazing fire. You get emotions, your head gets red, that's fire. So you try to counteract that with something else, or an herb that follows that same protocol. So there's always something that will counteract it. This will help you. For the Native American thing, instead of doing that, you try to become a different being. So you try to be like a bear spirit, or you think of yourself as a bear. If you're afraid, you'll say, well, what if I have my bear cubs behind me, and there's another bear coming towards me to eat my bear? and you're a mama bear, right? So you just imagine, or you try to feel as if you're a mama bear. What would you do? You know that if you die, these bears get eaten, your cubs get eaten. If you run away, these cubs get eaten. So you're going to give it everything you have to make sure your cubs don't get eaten. That's why mama bears are so dangerous. They give it all. So big bears come in, they try to attack the cubs, and they just get ripped to shreds by the mama bear. So you try to be a mama bear, and all of a sudden your emotions go away because you're playing a part of a different spirit animal. Duh.